Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's video where we're lucky enough to have Greg Smith from Admin's the Answer.
G'day,
to
mate.
tell us, g'day mate, to tell us everything about admin and how admin is important in your business for it to run successfully. Right, you ready to go, mate?
That's what we do. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Cool.
Greg, what an opportunity to have you today on our video.
Thank you.
That's why our podcast. We're podcasting now as well, guys. So if you can't watch us on screen, you can check us out on our podcast. But what an absolute treat to have you here. And I think maybe for some people they might think that, admin, what a boring topic, but it's so vital to business that without admin, a business can't, actually run.
Indeed, Nath. Never a true word said. Whilst admin is essential, I guess from our experience and my personal experience being a tradie, it's absolutely imperative that you get it right. So I thought I was pretty good on the tools when I had my own trade business, and can't remember the last time I got a call back because the work wasn't good. But if I was if I was crap at the admin, I had a crap business.
Yeah.
So I had customers ringing up going, "You promised a quote. That was 3 days ago." I ran a business like that.
So if we were just to rewind back on that, just to recap. So Greg, you had your own business doing a hobby business.
I did.
You were, what were you, a carpenter, a trade?
Yeah, I'm a qualified carpenter.
Yeah. So
could hang a door like nobody's business.
Yeah. And when you were running that business, how good was your admin?
Yeah, crap.
and so I guess this is where you sort of came about going, well, I've got the business, I'm great at hanging doors, I'm great at the typical carpentry style jobs, but you saw a need that, and also, I guess just because things weren't going well in your business because everything was failing.
The business wasn't as successful as what I thought it should or could be. I was working my guts out 5-6 days a week, and I was the typical trade business owner that would judge the success of his business by what his bank account looked like. And it is the last thing that you should be looking at to judge your business. Yeah. You'd know that by looking after guys' accounts.
I mean, we've talked about this in previous videos.
Yeah.
It's just not tradies that do that. There are a lot of people, and even I have fallen that trap. We do what we call accounting by, I guess, the bank account.
Yes.
And so many business owners, they get in this trap and they go, they get on their mobile app on their phone, have a look, log in, and I got 240,000 in the bank. Especially for a tradie, that's a lot of money, right? Mm-hmm. But the reality is, if you've got to pay your suppliers and also everyone else, that 240 is probably really profit. Maybe for you as the business owner,
it's not all yours.
Only 15 or 20.
No, it is not all yours all the time. And it became very clear to me, but I had to go through the learning it myself, running my own trades business, that it's not just about what's in your bank account. There's so much involved that goes together to run a successful business. You can be the best tradie on the tools in the world and go bankrupt very quickly if everything else isn't in order. And that's where we saw an opportunity to form Admin's the Answer. Listen, the summary is keep the tradies on the tools. That's what you guys love doing. I'm sure it's what I used to love doing, but used to loathe the thought of coming home and opening up the laptop after the kids had gone to bed and punching out quotes and invoices and doing general admin work till 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then getting up at 6 and doing it all over again. It's a bad spiral to get into. It's a typical spiral that I got into and lots of other of our clients were previously into, but we're pulling them away from that big time.
Yeah, and there's so much pain there to think that someone is working effectively what is 20, maybe 18 hours.
Yeah, a 16-hour a day would be, I think I've forgotten to do something, because you're going to bed before midnight. It doesn't have to be that way. It was for me, but it's not anymore for our clients. Guys, just finish at 4 o'clock. You are done for the day. Go home, throw the ball with the kids on the driveway, because that's what you should be doing in the afternoon.
Yeah. I mean, look, so I guess if we look at okay, admin's the answer. So just to recap,
Yep.
business happened because you could see there was a need for admin.
Yeah.
And I guess the pain that what you were going through, doing admin later on that night when you got home,
Yeah.
and just quality of life was falling over
Yep.
for you. But like, if someone was to employ you, what admin services, and I guess what admin
What
would
is
be
admin?
taking off them?
Yeah.
And or maybe it might even be that, you know, I guess maybe a typical tradie or even some other business owners that aren't tradies. What are they not doing that's admin? Like,
Yeah.
what are you
So
taking off?
what is admin?
Yeah,
because it's not bookkeeping, and I used to think it was the same, but it's certainly not just does that. So picture this: a customer wants to contact you. They call my team and not you, so you stay on the trade. We will schedule in quote and work visits. We will send out and follow up your quotes and your invoices. We will follow up outstanding invoices for you. We'll schedule your time and we'll schedule your employees' time in your calendar. We use specific job management systems. It's all available on your phone, on your app. So you won't need to populate your calendar for tomorrow, the day after, and the day after. We've done all that for you, whilst you're on the tools earning billable hours and basically doing what you prefer to be doing, and that's with the tool belt and with the hammer in your hand, not laptop and keyboard.
Yeah,
so
and having to chase debtors and
no, we'll do all that for you.
Even proposals for jobs and
so we'll follow up quotes. At the end of the day, you're the best person to quote because you know how long a job should take. But if you send a quote out to customer X, and we will follow that person up for you. I've done some stats. 4 out of 10 quotes never get responded to, but a call to those 4 customers, 2 on average say yes, please go ahead. That's a phone call. Tradies typically don't follow up their quotes.
Yeah. And I've got a few tradies on our clients, on our books that we look after.
Yep.
And one client in particular, they had found out the hard way about not having a contract in place. And having that signed, so that when the customer didn't pay or there was a discrepancy or an argument about what work was being done, they couldn't go back to a document to go, well, but to sort of fall upon and go, well, this is what we agreed to.
Agreed.
But like, this is something you could do as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, our job management system, you'll supply me your terms of trade, and if you haven't got one, we can help find one for you. The customers have to click on the quote on their email and saying, yes, I accept that. And
signing electronically?
Signing electronically, and they when they return that email, it says, you're doing this understanding all of the terms and the trade of the company that you're just about to employ. It just takes all of that he said, she said, it's gone. It's just all sorted.
So really, this is, obviously you pointed out to us, I feel that admin is really important to a business, the success of it, and definitely, it can be actually a really high returning investment too.
Yeah. For almost all of our clients, and the ones that I don't include are only new to us, we are a cost neutral. We're a cost neutral to the business. So what that means is we have created such a system for those tradies that they actually now spend more time on billable hours instead of in front of their computer doing admin. So a very basic scenario, Nathan, is if a guy's on our bronze package, it's $300 a week and we'll get everything done for him. If he's let's suggest his charge out rate $60 an hour. So if I could bill him or plan for him to work 1 extra hour a day on billable time, just 1, compared to what he's doing now, that extra hour per day has just paid for our service. Done. He doesn't have to work after 5 o'clock. He doesn't have to get up at 4 a.m. to see if any quotes have been approved. All of his calendar's been rescheduled. His invoices go out the day the job is done, not 2 weeks later because you might have forgotten or you just got behind. We'll chase up the bad debtors, and it's cost neutral. For me, it's almost a no-brainer.
I have to agree with that. Surely it's actually, if anything, it's probably actually making them money, because I'm sure they're going to save more than an hour a day.
Possibly. There's a few of our clients that are recouping more billable hours now, and they're actually paying for our service and their bookkeeper. So they often refer to me as a profit centre for their business. So I turn that around and go, the old school mindset of bringing people into your business just costs you money. Give me 10 minutes of your time, I'll show you how we can be cost neutral for you.
Yeah. So I mean, look, whether that's they outsource a company like yourself or get an employee in-house.
Sure.
I guess the benefit of using someone like yourself, and I just really want to point out as well, a question I actually asked Greg before we started today was the outsourcing.
Yeah.
Usually outsourcing is a bit of a dirty word with a lot of people, and they think of an Indian call centre, or someone in Asia somewhere doing the work.
No,
this is all in Australia, isn't it?
All in Australia. Australia employees. We're double-digit big in employee numbers now, and they're all Australian and always will be.
So when the customer or the client that you're dealing with, or the tradie gets on the phone with you, they're hearing an Australian accent. Australian accent. G'day, mate. That's what they get. Yes. Yes. And listen, all kudos. That's a massive selling point as well.
I think so. And it's always been my desire to set the business up that way. And yes, I could outsource some of our data input, our basic data input overseas. It doesn't interest me. I'm never going there.
Yeah. But you really, I mean, having yourself there, I mean, like, whether they do it, I mean, they could get an employee in there, maybe someone like someone who wants to do a few hours a week. But then I guess if you were to go employ someone for, if they're part-time, you're going to have to be a really big company to be able to afford or have, say, them there for minimum of 1 or 2 days a week, because someone's not going to want to work just probably 1 day or 4 hours a week.
No, who's going to do that?
Yeah.
So our staff are mostly part-time, but then at the end of the day, you don't. The tradies we work with don't need 8 hours a day worth of admin. The key moment is up until lunchtime. So my staff have 3 or 4, 5, 6 companies that they look after, and they just skip from one account to the other. If that tradie owner wants something done, they know they can just call one of my staff and say, hey, you can send that invoice to Mrs. Brown. I've just walked out of her house, and as per quote, send the invoice.
Yeah.
Job done. So it's admin on call. If you're not big enough to have someone in the office, you don't have to worry about their annual leave. You don't have to worry about if they're going to be sick. You don't have to train them, and you only pay for our service when you use it. So
look, I think everyone's had a tradie. I guess real life experience. And I at the moment where my wife and I we're trying to get a renovation done,
cool.
and it's very cool.
Should be exciting.
It is. Yeah, it should be exciting time. But it's so chalk and cheese between tradies. So a few builders we've approached, and I gotta say there was one building company I was so impressed with. They I don't think they had a CRM system, and so CRM is customer relations basically program where we can they can funnel sales into a managed, organised way. But they had on there, I mean, I reached out to them and said, hey, this is what I want to do. And what was really cool about them was that they had this questionnaire of everything that they typically need to know before they go and see me. And I thought that was really organised. But this is just another classic example of admin.
Yeah, they're filtering you, and we do the same. So we might get a new customer come to one of our clients, and let's say it's a handyman type job. We will filter that customer straight away to a point where we've actually booked in that job in that first phone call. So say a customer, I don't know, squeaky bedroom door, and they're just over it and they've got no idea how to fix it, and they need someone out there. I'm not sending the tradie out there to quote on a squeaky bedroom door. It's just not going to happen. What a complete and utter waste of money. So, we have minimum charge rates in the system and say, well, Mrs. Brown, we can get Bill to come and see you, and it's going to be the minimum hourly rate of X dollars. Would you like us to book that in? Yeah, that'd be great. Bang, it's in the calendar, done. All of while that's happening, Bill's on another job earning his great hourly rate, and I promise you our hourly rate is not what his is. So he's out there earning billable hours. The next thing he knows is there's a calendar item in for next Wednesday to spend an hour at Mrs. Brown's place fixing a door, and we've quoted her, and take the cash, take the payment, we'll invoice it straight away.
So a job that takes an hour,
Yeah.
right, instead of quoting all that and going, well, okay, the job might be worth $500, but I've spent 4 hours to get it all done, effectively admin, doing the job,
Yeah.
and all the other bits and pieces of phone calls.
You haven't made it
But
right.
if they can kind of go, well, okay, you've dealt with it in half an hour,
Yeah.
right, and then the builder's done in an hour,
Yeah.
you're talking about $500 over an hour and a half with that charge-out rate. Like you said before,
Yeah.
the start of the video just increases.
Yes.
Just another story, just to add on to that as well, and you're talking about communication. Communication is a big piece in any business.
Huge.
So for me, like, you know, a builder was supposed to see me yesterday, and well, no, he wasn't supposed to see me, sorry. What had happened was he contacted me last week and said, yeah, let's find a time for you to come out and have a look at my job. Right, no problems. Just send me an email, he said, and then we can confirm that, lock that time in.
Right.
And the email was sent, you know, that very same afternoon, and I didn't hear anything. And yesterday afternoon, I was like, oh, I wonder if he's going to come round. So around about midday, I called him, and it's just like, went straight to voicemail, and then also sent him a text message. And it wasn't until about 5 o'clock that afternoon yesterday where he said, hey, look, sorry I missed your phone call, and sorry I didn't get that email. But you imagine, like, what does that represent to me?
Yeah.
Like, what I can see is, okay, you're a really nice guy, but like
You're
your
not
communication is not great.
Yeah.
Right? You're not organised.
Yeah.
But then I look at it on a bigger picture and go, okay, so I'm putting you in charge of this renovation, I'm investing a lot of money in this job with you.
Yep.
If you can't get the basic right of communicating with me and getting back to me with a time,
Yep.
it doesn't look good.
No, and you start to doubt, wrongly in some cases, you start to doubt then what the quality of his actual work is going to be. Now, he's not thinking that when he doesn't respond to that text message or the email. That bigger picture consideration from a customer is sometimes lost. But it's your scenario you've just run through, a live example, is not an unfamiliar story we hear of tradies who have first come to us, versus the customer saying, I knew exactly when he was going to turn up. He turned up on time. I've got the quote on time, and bugger me, they even followed up on a quote as well, because now he's got that help outside. The reason he asked you to send an email is because he's not organised enough to write it down somewhere and make sure that he's contacting you, which should have been the process. Customers shouldn't have to email a contractor to go, don't forget to call me. No, that's not the customer's job. That's the tradie's job. Yeah. And it becomes our job.
So I think it's really, I mean, what you're providing is just not the admin, but also improving the customer relation journey,
Yeah, we'd like to think that. I'd like to think that when a tradie knocks on the door and potentially it's the first time they've spoken to that tradie, the customer's getting an impression that, hey, these guys are organised. And don't worry, if you're late, guess who gets the call? My team. So if you were planning to be there at 10 o'clock and we've scheduled for 10 o'clock and it comes 10:15, guess who's getting the call? We're getting the call. So we're the little policeman there going, mate, we said 10 o'clock. If you're going to be late, let me know. I'll call a customer and politely say you're running a little bit late. Customers love that. Yeah. We call that dropping pennies into the quote approval bucket, Nathan. So every time we do a little bit of service like that, the customer hangs up the phone going, oh yeah, he's going to be 15 minutes late, but wasn't it cool to find that out? I didn't have to call, I didn't have to chase. How cool is that? Tradies just don't do that. Cool, we've dropped another penny into the quote approval bucket for you. You do enough penny dropping, the price of the job almost becomes irrelevant.
Because communication is key.
Massive. Massive.
I was just saying this the other day to a builder a contractor who's doing some work for me in my backyard. Yeah. And it's like, I haven't heard from you for about a week. What's going on? What's your grand plan? Yeah. And he had everything under the sun to tell me about this had gone on that, and absolutely, I'm sure that it is really the truth, legit. Yeah. But at the same time as well, it's like, hey mate, look, it's communication. Yeah. I can't read your mind.
The fact is, you have to ask.
I had to ask, yeah.
That's the first problem.
Yeah.
You should never have to
ask. And, you know, like, I'm busy myself.
Yeah.
And I don't need to be chasing you up like your mum would.
Yep.
You know, and going, hey, what's going on? Like,
no, I understand that.
Yeah.
We often say to our clients, when you leave that customer's house, give them an indication of when they may receive the quote. And after you've worked with us for a while, you'll get to understand the timings of when all that can happen.
Well, that really was some really good information that you provided us, Greg. And I think, like, for a lot of businesses out there, where they just got themselves and maybe one or two staffs on the tools, your service, you know, providing admin, can really work really well hand in hand with probably a bookkeeper.
Yeah.
So I guess, Greg, if there's businesses out there, I guess really your target market is the tradies.
Yes.
If they want to connect with you, because they like the idea of what you're doing, and you could, you know, they see and value what you can bring to the table to improve their business. Yeah. How do they reach out to you? How do they find you?
Easiest place is through our website, www.adminstheanswer.com.au. Have a troll through the website. It's just been updated. The darn thing's on steroids. There's lots of videos on there. Click on the pricing schedule. We're unique in the way we price. I don't charge you by the hour, but I'll let you have a look at the video. You can explore how we charge. It's very unique in the industry on how we do that, and I almost charge like I used to charge as a tradie, so I think you guys will get it. Have a look through there. You can call me. All the contact details are on the contact page. You can call me direct if you want and say, hey, I saw you on Nathan's cool video. Can we have a bit of a chat? I've got a couple of questions, or just flick me an email and we'll get in touch.
So what was that website again?
www.adminstheanswer, one word, .com.au.
Okay, and we'll throw I guess your details in the comments underneath the video. And the other thing as well is, if you really like today's video and podcast, what I really ask for you guys to do is to share and subscribe. And that's it.
Do the like it.
You know what you're doing.
I know what I'm doing.
Definitely more than just a tradie.
We've done this before.
So it'd be great if you guys could share our video, because we're really trying to get out there, and just, I guess what the whole point of the videos is really just trying to help our clients and our subscribers and viewers improve their lives. And
we both want all businesses to succeed, and that includes yours, guys. So get a better business and get a better life.
That's it. All right. Well, thanks, Greg.
Cool. You're very welcome.
Mate, that's great. See you guys.
Done.
All right, let's go.
Thank you.
Go have that beer. This is what tradies do, don't they?
Yeah, it's only midday.
Cool. Oh, well, okay. See you.